When people talk about prep time, everybody's always talking about why Batman's prep time is so much better than everybody else's. But, in my opinion, Black Panther beats the break off of Batman's prep time in any kind of situation. Yo, what's going on, my comic friends? Welcome back to Let's Talk Comics, and today we're going to be tackling something that's going to be very debatable in the comment section, and that specifically is why Black Panther has better prep time than Batman. And I know, the internet practically worships Bruce Wayne's prep time. It has become a meme to this point. Give Batman 1 week and he can beat anybody. But here's the thing. When you start comparing the facts, the technology, the sovereignty, the manpower, and the cultural influence and infrastructure backing T'Challa, Black Panther really starts to look like the ultimate prep god. We're not just going to be talking about clever gadgets and well-hidden contingency files. We're going to be talking about a nation that exists as a living engine of preparation. So, let's break down exactly why Wakanda gives Black Panther the edge that even Gotham's Dark Knight cannot match. But before we go any further, let's define our terms. When we say prep time, we mean the ability to anticipate, prepare for, and adapt to threats using resources, intelligence, and logistics, and any contingency planning that might come later on. That includes access to cutting-edge tech, strategic foresight, manpower, political authority, and cultural systems that accelerate innovation. And Batman is legendary for his preparation, his detective genius, his obsessive contingency plans, and his ability to fight out the impossible and just fight his way out of impossible corners is legendary. But Black Panther's prep time isn't just an individual feat. It is deeply institutional. It is the weight of an entire kingdom, of history, of a legacy backed and basically breaking down into every level of the Wakandan society. Bruce is one man with allies. Yes, he's the Prince of Gotham, but T'Challa is the King of Wakanda. T'Challa is a man backed by the most basically advanced nation in the entirety of the Marvel world, maybe aside from Atlantis and maybe aside from Krakoa, depending on the day. But yeah, let's talk about raw materials. Bruce Wayne has Wayne Enterprises, billions of dollars, access to military contracts, satellites, R&D labs, and global corporate empires, basically that he can do whatever he wants with. That's huge, yes, but T'Challa, let's be honest, he has Vibranium and a nation built around it. Vibranium is just so overpowered in this kind of situation, in almost any situation in general, because Vibranium as a material multiplier isn't just rare wealth. It is a game-breaking element that absorbs kinetic energy, powers near magical technology, and reshapes the possibilities of science. Every prep plan that Batman has basically does not really compare just to Vibranium alone, besides obviously the fact that he does have some absolutely ridiculous suits and ridiculous tech that he uses to deal with the stronger people in his own world, but Vibranium is still just a very, very different kind of metal. And even when we talk about the normal scale industry, Wakanda isn't a company. It is an entire nation that can mobilize its labs, factories, and scientists at the king's command. And this means mass production of advanced tech in days, not years, and way faster than Bruce could ever possibly get his Wayne Enterprises R&D labs to create something in any kind of situation. Lucius Fox is good, but he's not as good as the entire Wakandan government. And even when we're thinking and talking about the medical and defensive superiority, that obviously just strictly goes to Black Panther, because from energy storing armor to healing technologies that leaves Wayne Tech in the dust, Wakanda's scientific breakthroughs are built for resilience at its ginormic scale. And that's not even talking about the fact that the sovereignty and logistical freedom that Black Panther has to Batman is so much in a different league. Because Batman, yes, might be a billionaire, but he still plays under the rules of Gotham and the US. He has to dodge oversight, manipulate PR, and sneak his weapons around because, yes, they might be coming from Wayne Tech, but he can't really have Wayne Tech completely just be like, oh yeah, we're making all of the Batman's tech, so, we're kind of Batman somewhere related here. He doesn't need people figuring that out way too quickly. But T'Challa doesn't have to deal with that. He's a king, and that sovereignty changes basically everything. Total mobilization of power, because, Dora Milaje, border defensives, Wakandan airships, all accessible instantly through royal command. And that, one, is just a game changer in terms of any kind of prep time because he has too much at his disposal. And that diplomatic advantage, because moving weapons and tech across borders is far easier when you're a sovereign state. Bruce would be branded a criminal, honestly, and T'Challa is just really seen as a diplomat. And long-term governments, obviously, God takes that bag in any kind of full-on idea just because Black Panther, honestly, is going to be beating out Batman in that specific kind of forefront anyways, and he's probably going to be beating Bruce in intelligence also because preparation without information or intelligence is nothing but guesswork, and both Black Panther and Batman have one spy networks or just intelligence and full-on networks ranging around everything that they need, but the difference in scale and integration is totally different. But Black Panther has global sensors across grids and cloaked satellites. Like Wakanda keeps watch on Vibranium tracking, alien incursions, global movements with technology beyond the reach of Wayne Tech. Like that is just a gut common fact. And those entire channels that he has access to really truly show the difference between how they can utilize everything that they have. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. The intelligence difference between these two isn't as easy as you might think. Because, yes, we know, due to the Black Panther movie, everybody's always like, oh, yeah, isn't Shuri just the smart one comparatively to T'Challa due to the, Shuri being smart and T'Challa not being as smart as Shuri? But that's just in the movie. T'Challa in comics is extremely smart, and we've seen him do extremely intelligent moves, even in terms of contingency plans. Because when it comes to contingency plans, the one thing that everyone's going to talk about with Batman's prep time, Black Panther is no slouch there either. Batman's entire reputation rests on his contingency plans. We've literally seen him talk about and have entire contingency plans for everybody in the Justice League. Tower of Babel has shown us just how far he'll go to account for every other hero or villain. But T'Challa thinks 10 steps ahead, and just on a different scale. Whether it's anti-Avengers protocol that in several runs T'Challa has quietly studied and prepared counters for every Avenger, including gods like Thor, and he's almost always calculating and thinking of contingency plans for anybody that he meets, whether you're a hero or a villain. We've heard and seen countless different comics with Black Panther where he's actively just specifically stating, yeah, I already have something to counteract you. I already have something to countermeasure you just due to the fact that I've already met you once or anything like that. And he just needed to make sure that he could deal with them just in case. Obviously, he might not be using it and he's probably not going to plan on using you just like Batman, but he already has the ideas in place just like Batman would. And obviously also the difference between just like how and the scale that they can use their contingency plans, because Bruce can only do so much, while Wakanda can basically build countermeasures not just for individuals, but for alien invasions, which Bruce can do, global disasters, which yes, Bruce can do, but the entire scale that Wakanda is doing that is truly on a different level, because multiversal crises, call Wakanda, they might have something planned out due to the fact that depending on the day, depending on the month, depending on the year, Black Panther's either running Wakanda from Earth or is an entire own galactic empire that is basically the richest thing in existence. So the money is basically coming in and flowing in hilariously crazy. And to continue my point on prep time and just contingency plans and preparation, we also have the fact that Wakanda's prep time, and specifically Black Panther's prep time, isn't just practical, but it's cultural. The inherited tactical wisdom that Black Panther and any Black Panther has, specifically if we're talking about T'Challa, is the fact that each king inherits not only the mantle of Black Panther, but centuries worth of accumulated strategy just by being able to have that conversation with the people and the Black Panthers that have already died. We've seen in the Black Panther movie, for example, where he's talking to the ancestors. You gain the access to, basically be able to talk to them, and that alone is helpful enough. And even if it's only that once, you still gain the ability to just kind of look past and see centuries, millennia's worth of history that is actively leading to your strategy and having already things settled for you. And the innovation as that technology and tradition just has come along shows so much differently, because Wakanda sees science as a communal value, with Shuri embodying the culture of relentless innovation. And in all fairness, T'Challa can usually do the same thing that she can, if I'm not just speaking out of my head. And that truly just kind of helps with that entire idea of his prep time's going to beat Batman out so much in so many specific examples, because I could name maybe 4 or 5 comic feats in my own head that I could easier say about the fact of T'Challa just outsmarting basically everyone, which usually is going to happen no matter what when you involve T'Challa, or him basically outright saying that I already have contingency plans for you, and you. Please don't mess with me. Because that is the truth. He basically almost always does have that. And anybody that knows comics and knows them better than me specifically, which probably are many people, can go down in the comment section and basically just say that for me. Because no matter what, who really wins the prep time war is gonna be debated, just due to the fact that Batman is gonna be glazed over so much and just gonna be glazed on so much. But Batman is a master planner on an individual scale. But Black Panther commands resources, culture, and a nation that has been preparing itself for centuries. So when it comes to prep time, T'Challa doesn't just rival Batman, he redefines the game. And that's why when you strip down the myth that, has become Batman and look at the facts, the crown belongs to the King of Wakanda. And his prep time, his entire strategy, his brain truly outclasses Bruce's in so many ways that I just cannot feasibly explain in any kind of quick method. If I wanted to, this video would be about like an hour long and I'd have to go through every singular feat, but I do not have that kind of time. And I mean, I could, but that would be another video on itself and just basically glazing Black Panther for an entire hour, which I don't know who wants that. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. Drop down in your comments below on any other characters that you guys might want videos on in general, and let me know who you think would win this prep time war. Peace.